thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to talk to you today about a project that has been very close to my heart and which has had some social impact. So about 6 years ago, I moved from the corporate world into the social sector, and I entered a family called Social Venture Partners. Not many are familiar with it, but I would like to take this time to tell you a bit about it. So Social Venture Partners is actually an international organization. It was started in Seattle in 1997 by a group of tech entrepreneurs who became famous and made a lot of money. And then they decided, how do I give back to the society? And that's how Social Venture Partners started. And now it is present in 6 countries with about 3,400 partners in it. In India, it was started in Bangalore in 2012, and now we are present in 8 cities, and Hyderabad being here for more than 10 years now. What do we actually do at Social Venture Partners? It's nothing but a group of people like me who've come together to engage in philanthropy. What do you mean by engage philanthropy here is that you go beyond writing your checks. We give you time, our expertise, and our network, and we support very young, high-potential NGOs and catalyze their growth. So, I mean, it's almost like incubating NGOs with us, right? We have a lot of expertise in our partner network. In India, we are more than 700 people coming from various backgrounds. We have industrialists, academicians, experts in marketing, business, and stuff like that. And in India, with 700 partners, we have been helping more than 100 NGOs incubate with us. And usually it's in a multi-year engagement. We engage with an NGO for at least 3 to 5 years to enable their growth. And what we adopt at SVP is a model called venture philanthropy. What do I mean by venture philanthropy? It's nothing but this model combines the practices of for-profit ventures as well as what are the best practices that happen in a philanthropic organization. So through the funding that we provide, as well as the capacity building, if you look at here, this year, our 764 partners gave 50,000 hours of coaching and mentorship to our NGOs. What that actually enables on the ground is it helps them grow, multiply not only in size, but also the impact that they bring on the ground with their beneficiaries is multi-level. So today, I would like to take a few of your minutes to actually showcase through this project called Jeevan Jyoti, to show how venture philanthropy actually works at SVP. So what is the Jeevan Jyoti project? Our goal here was to empower women in sex work, those communities to efficiently and sustainably build alternate livelihoods. And that to do it at a scale. So that sustainably and at scale was the motto here. How many of you think sex work is legal in India? It is? Yes, sex work is a legal profession. But there are several aspects that are associated with this profession, such as soliciting, is heavily criminalized. So these women, especially the female sex workers, face a lot of discrimination in the society, and hence have become kind of like a silent community who are very scared to raise their voice, so that they might face more stigma or they might be abused further in the society. So they end up being silent. SVP's first interaction with this community started during the COVID times, actually. Swasti, an organization based out of Bangalore, reached out to SVP, and they reached out for funds, mostly to provide food, medical kits, and later on with even vaccines. But once our engagement during the COVID period was done, we had really built a very nice relationship with this community, and they started thinking about alternate livelihoods. Why? Because if you think about the COVID times, the entire profession of sex work was wiped out. Their livelihoods were pretty much nil at that time. So that's when they started realizing that alternate livelihoods is something that they should explore. So this project actually was born out of their interest and their need. Now, who are the partners in this engagement? As I mentioned, SVP is there. We provided some seed funding to this project. We also enabled CSR funding later on in this multi-year engagement. HD Works came in with their CSR. And what we also do is our partners provide the guidance to the CBOs at the ground, as well as Swasti, the NGO. Swasti, as I mentioned, is an NGO that is placed out of, works out of Bangalore. And what they've done is they've been working with this community for more than 20 years. So they have done a wonderful job of creating very small regional level bodies, similar to your self-help groups. But these are called the community-based organizations. And these organizations now are all there on a platform that is hosted by Swasti called Taras. So this platform helps them, raise their voices here regarding their issues. So Swasti in this project was kind of mentoring the sex work community. Now coming to the community-based organizations, you've heard this talk before when Vaijanti was talking. So what are these community-based organizations? These are nothing but groups of women who have formed these local bodies, and they are very strong. My first interaction with the board of these was like amazing. Amazingly strong leadership among these women. My first interaction was with 9 of them representing 9 different wards of a district. So they are very self-sustaining in terms of leadership. They're also a very independent financial entity, meaning that we can actually fund them directly too. And they are the ones who are responsible for executing the project of alternate livelihoods on the ground. So what were the options that were picked, for these alternate livelihoods? The first option was individual enterprises. Based on the market research, the community decided that there were 6 models of businesses that they want to adopt. Partners at SVP, along with Swasti and the community business leaders, sat together and created a business plan. They actually created a business plan for 3 years, so, to show, and that's how they enabled the community there. Then based on the surveys done with the community, they mapped these skills to the individuals. And what they did, they handheld the individuals to actually start their enterprise. And the beauty of this project is that the seed funding came from government schemes. Neither SVP nor the CSRs provided seed funding for the enterprises. It was all through the government schemes and through the small loans that are available for the community. Then the field workers were actually helping them problem solve on the ground. Now, the other option was called group enterprises. Not every woman was comfortable running their own business, so they were very comfortable doing a group enterprise. And for them, we were looking for opportunities, and one such opportunity came up from the ground. They were running kirana stores, food centers, vegetable and fruit vending, and there was this opportunity to start a wholesale shop in the community-based organization itself. So they started a wholesale shop which was providing the material to their own community members. Now it was a win-win situation. The community members were getting resources at a reduced price and at good quality. And the community-based organization was actually making money, which they can use it for their own operations and for funding further programs. So this was the key to sustainability for us. Phase 1 of the project, we started this in 2 districts, one in Warangal and one in Rajahmundry. So each CBO has approximately 200 women of membership. So that's 4,000 women that we brought in the first year. So with the no seed capital, within the first year, 210 women started their own enterprises, and they started making a profit about 10,000 per month. Then in the phase 2 of this project, we added in more CBOs, like, surrounding to Warangal and to Rajahmundry. And 560 women started their own enterprises in the second year. And this year, the profits, based on some of the measures that were put in together, the profits increased to 20K per month. This year was also the time when we started this group enterprises, right, at every CBO. Would you believe that in the first year, they actually had a turnover of 1 crore? They were turning over 1 crore in every CBO in the wholesale shop. And they started making 60K profit every month. Now in phase 3, now we need to add on more CBOs into this cluster, right? So we are thinking about something called a cluster model, where we'll group one group enterprise with several of these individual enterprises in a region, and that becomes a very self-sustaining kind of an ecosystem for them. The idea here is that in a couple of years, Swasti should be out of the picture, SVP should be out of the picture, and this should be like a self-sustainable model. This is the scope of the future, right? These are the clusters that we are currently working with, Srikakulam, Warangal, and Godavari. But there are 25 such CBOs in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. They are servicing 42,000 women. So I think the ask here from all of us is, let's join the journey, because SVP is there providing the mentorship. In this 3-year engagement that we've had with this community, we have empowered about 1,000 women to obtain alternate livelihoods with an average profit of about 20,000 per month. But I think more than the monetary gain, what we've seen in the field is that increase in confidence and self-worth that these women face. I think that is the more meaningful change that this community has seen. And with the model of what we are looking at, sustainability of group enterprises, I think that's amazing that they're doing this. But going forward, we are planning to add more group enterprises into the picture. And with this cluster model of where we are pairing a GE to an individual enterprise, this will create a self-sustaining ecosystem. And that is what is needed for us so that we can cover all the TARUS CBOs. Thank you.